Joining me now, Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent from Vermont. And Senator Sanders, two ways to look at the Kansas result. One is close doesn't cut it in politics. The other is a 20-point swing in favor of the Democrats. What's your takeaway?
Well, I think that what Thompson and the progressives in a conservative district in Montana did was very, very impressive. And I think it speaks very positively of what we're going to be seeing happening around the country in the next months and years. I was in Kansas a couple of months ago. We had 5,000 people out in Topeka. I think what you are going to see are people who voted for Trump because he said he was going to stand up for working families, but now understand that his agenda is for the billionaire class, that he supports disastrous health care proposals, which threw 24 million people off of health insurance, $800 billion cut in Medicaid, $300 billion in tax breaks for the very rich. So I think what's happening is a lot of working people say, I voted for Trump. He said he was going to stand up for me. Turns out that's not the case. So what Democrats need to do, two things, Chris.
Yeah.
Number one, a 50-state agenda. Do not surrender parts of the country to right-wing Republicans. Number two, a progressive agenda that makes it clear that the Democrats are going to stand with working families. They are prepared to take on Wall Street and the 1%. We do those things, I think you're going to see fundamental changes in the way politics works in America.
On that first thing, 50 states surrendering it, do you think that's what the DNC and the DCCC did here, who put in very, very little resources?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I think the word is, well, this is Kansas. How can anybody do well in Kansas? It's a Republican state. Well, it turned out that you had a lot of activists, you had a lot of working people standing up and taking on the Trump agenda, and with a little bit more help, they might have pulled it off. And I would hope that the Democratic leadership learns that lesson. Where there is grassroots activism, let's support that activism.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about this sort of this sort of theory of what's happening of folks who voted for Trump being dismayed with him, and I think the polling reflects that. But I was looking at the results in Kansas, and one of the things that jumped out to me was Democratic turnout was about 68% of what it had been on Election Day, which is very high for a special election. Republican turnout was 38%. So you've got you know, there's sort of persuasion part of it, right? People that were Trump voters who are now not so into him, but there's also just the activation factor, which to me seems the driving force in politics right now.
Well, Chris, this is what we're seeing all over the country. That's what the Women's March was about. Blew everybody's mind. Millions of people came out. It's what the rallies that we saw against this disastrous Republican health care plan was about. It is people flooding into Republican town meetings was about. So I think what we have to do now is make it clear to the American people that if you don't believe that the Republican and Trump agenda of hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks for the top 1%, while they cut Medicare and Medicaid and education and affordable housing and child care. If you think that doesn't make sense, if it doesn't make sense to expand military spending by $80 billion while you have Republicans in Congress working to cut Social Security, if you think that doesn't make sense, you got to get involved in the political process. You got to stand up and fight back.
I want to ask you about that. You mentioned the health care bill, because I'm sort of astounded by this. It was one of the most dramatic legislative failures I've ever seen in covering politics. They said we're moving on because they got their butts kicked so badly, frankly. Now the president's saying, no, we're going to come back and do it. And I wonder if, as sitting from your position in your caucus, there's part of me, I think if I was a Democratic senator, I would be like, yes, please try to pass this terrible bill again, because it was such a disaster the first time.
That's right. And this bill that they're talking about going to be even worse. Look, Chris, here is, in my view, this is my view. My view is that there is no state in this country, not Kansas, not Alabama, not Mississippi, no state in this country where people think it makes sense to give hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks to the rich and throw 24 million people off of health insurance and raise premiums for older workers by 3 or 4 times. Nobody believes that makes sense. What the Democrats have got to do is take the fight into Kansas, and I want to applaud the people of Kansas for what they did last night. Take it all over this country. Start putting that agenda, that disastrous right-wing agenda, the denial of the reality of climate change, defunding Planned Parenthood, Very few people support that agenda. We mobilize, we educate, we're going to win, and we're going to win big.
All right, Senator Bernie Sanders, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.